The MacTav is a classic weapon in Infinite Warfare. It's based off the UMP from previous Call of Duty games. I'm sure many of you know that, but if I mess up and refer to it as the UMP throughout this video, at some point, I'm just talking about the MacTav. I think this gun is extremely underrated. I would say it's one of the top 2 classic weapons that you should get. Between this and the Hornet, I definitely think you should get those 2 as soon as you can. And recently, it was patched to give it more recoil, and a lot of people complained that that was a needless patch and that the MacTav wasn't that good. But it's actually very good, and to make my point of how underrated this weapon is, I'm going to compare it to a gun that a lot of people think is overpowered or overused or is just very good. A lot of people use this gun, and I'm going to compare it to the NV4 so that you can see that this common weapon, the NV4 that everybody uses, really isn't as good as the MacTav. So getting right into the stats here, you can see I made this graph to illustrate some of the more important stats of the weapon that I feel. You can see the damages are actually identical, and that the MacTav actually has a higher 4-hit kill range. They both kill in 4 to 5 shots, so the 4-hit kill range is what's important. It's going to kill at 5 hits from that point onward. And it has a 13% higher 4-hit kill range at 43 meters versus 37. The MacTav also has a higher RPM at 666 versus 612 RPM. This is only an 8% difference, but it's still an advantage of the MacTav. The clip size is very similar, so I don't really care about that. There's 2 or 3 extra bullets in the MacTav. Not really that important. It's not really going to make a difference really ever. The strafe speed, the MacTav wins out there again. Some people may not be concerned with the strafe speed, but I'm someone who likes strafing a lot, and I have to have stock on my assault rifles. I just don't feel comfortable without it. And the MacTav strafes at either 79% without stock or 100% with stock. And the NV4 is at 41% or 73%. So the base MacTav strafes faster than the NV4 with stock. The MacTav does have a faster aim down sights time, but it's not very substantial at 0.23 seconds versus 0.25 seconds. And if you use the quick draw attachment, it's going to drop these both even further, and they're going to be even closer. So I don't think the ADS time advantage is really that important that the MacTav has. And then finally, the sprint out speed, this is pretty important, is 0.083 seconds for the MacTav, and then 0.167 seconds with the NV4. So the MacTav will sprint out in half the time it takes the NV4 to sprint out. A little note though, if you use Gung Ho, I think it drops it down to 0.03 seconds for both weapons. So Gung Ho is a good perk to use that a lot of people don't really like using. There are other differences between these weapons, but I feel like these points I illustrated in the chart really get the point across that these weapons really stack up well against each other, and that the MacTav will actually have a faster time to kill at every range. The MacTav also has a better hipfire and a better base movement speed. The NV4, however, does have less recoil, and it has the ability to equip variants. The MacTav does not have variants, but even this advantage of the variants, I really don't feel like that really pushes the NV4 far ahead. A lot of people are going to cite either the Flatline or the Chaos as variants that really push the NV4 over the MacTav, but the NV4 Flatline's lower fire rate really makes it just a slow time to kill weapon, and then even the Chaos with its faster hipfire rate is only at 650 RPM, so the MacTav still beats it up close. And the Chaos has a slower fire rate when you aim down sights, so the MacTav is going to beat it there as well. Of course, the NV4 does have less recoil than the MacTav, and I think that can really be overcome by just throwing a grip on the MacTav. With a grip, it has pretty much no recoil, just like the NV4, it works fine. They both have very good iron sights. They're really open and usable. I'd like both these weapons' iron sights. However, these stats may point to the MacTav really just outclassing the NV4 at everything. I really do feel that the NV4, I don't know, just something about it feels really good. I'm not saying that it's a terrible weapon, I'm just saying that the MacTav stacks up against it well, and that you should definitely consider using the MacTav, because it's really not used that often, and it's really good. My favorite class to use with the MacTav is to use it with quick draw, silencer, and grip. However, there's really no weaknesses of this gun, and you can use it with pretty much any attachments that you want. That's what's really good about it, is it pretty much has no weaknesses, and its strength is really good accuracy and damage over range, and a moderate fire rate. Thanks for watching this video. Comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability, and I hope that you try out the MacTav and enjoy using it.